Remember, kids, stay in school. Well, kids, it's time to be grounded forever! Chapter 113 is the end of the exam, which it was a good timing to do so, as it has reached to the point that everything it wants to address. That said, I kinda wish it ended later, as this chapter provided some fun moments with all heroes coming alive and take on Gang Orca. It did leave an important lesson. The exam came to a close as this chapter pumps out a good amount of entertainment value, as well as realistic lesson that doesn't have to be normal slice of life nature. In fact, that's what made me appreciate this chapter with his handling with his characters. It could have easily gone the way many would have thought, but instead we went with a harsh reality. It was mainly an action-packed chapter that was pretty entertaining to see everyone giving it all before the end of the clock. It was pleasing to see Inasa and Shoto working together for that little moment to show that they are most definitely stepping in the right direction. However, it's the matter of if it's forgiving enough to allow them to pass. It becomes really fun when all heroes steps into the action and we get to see many core display, including a new one from Tsuyu, who is just sweet. It's nice to know that the students who didn't get the screen time moment as of yet doesn't really have to wait for one to show off their progression. So seeing the camouflage is pretty neat. It's the scenery that really pushes the fun factor. Even though these villains aren't really as they say, the atmosphere sure feels like something we can expect in the future. It's like watching the Avengers, nothing but an all-out war. It's worth noting that everyone outside of Inasa and Shoto were actually working together. It really separates from them. Clearly understood the fundamental. It draws the line of what is right and wrong to act, which itself is a moral lesson. I hope to see this type of atmosphere in the future because it was like an all-out mayhem. Deku even sneaks in with a really cool entrance against Orca. The idea of exam taking place is a reminder to us, as well as the character, mainly Deku, that this is just an exam, so it's not really something that you really gotta be very hooked on. That was the case for Deku. It's pretty telling on how much momentum you can get when everyone is working together. There were pretty good visuals showcased in this chapter. Since it was an action heavy chapter, we see a lot of attack display, as well as how cool they came off. All you're missing was a soundtrack from the anime and you're good to go. All of them came off impressive, which helped by the placement of the action. Orca continued to impress me with his design, probably among my top 5 favorites in this series. Something about him just has a lot of sense of badass, and the ending is where it left me shocked yet satisfied, even though that sounds cruel. Allow me to explain. It's not shocking that Shoto and Inasa didn't pass. However, it's shocking that the storyboard have them not passing. Usually I'm accustomed to the last minute save means all is forgotten, barely, which leads them to passing. That happens in writing. In this case, the storyboard went for the realistic route. In other words, in real life, I wouldn't be surprised that they didn't pass the exam. However, in media, where you can suspend your disbelief, I was shocked that the writer really went with the realism. That all said, I'm satisfied with it. I'm satisfied with that direction because it's a lesson of you can learn your past mistake, but the time is an essence and you have to learn it before you earn it. This is something that I really appreciate from My Hero Academia. It's good that Shoto and Inasa learned their mistakes, but the damage was done and it can't be overlooked, which also shows the fairness from the school board. The way how it was paneled was telling on how they felt about not able to pass. It's a sign of regret, more so than shock and frustrated with the board. They have no one to blame but themselves. It's a harsh lesson, but we can't take it for granted and we have to mature before engaging in something important for us. Overall, this was a pretty fun chapter with a lot of neat moments from characters working together, as well as how engaged Deku was in the exam. I just like that part where he built up a fearsome moment of possibly not passing, and then when he passed, it's like a sigh of relief. That part was really neat. While he has passed and understood the value, Shoto and Inasa, however, embraced the harsh yet reasonable outcome in which many of us can understand, if not know where they're coming from. Chapter 113 gets an 8. Well, you know what they say, you have to learn it the hard way. The next chapter review is going to be a different format. I have been working hard on the other kind, as well as trying to make this new post impression video that I'm going to post up very soon. That is the reason why this review takes longer than usual. But if I get everything formatted, everything will actually come very swiftly. Something that I used to do back then. Everything just keep on accumulating in order to work on them. Hopefully you guys will join me for the next review. My thoughts are told, don't let yours on hold. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.